we're back with another battle report. We have the Necrons out for their test run with the new codex. I am playing the Sautekh dynasty this time because I really wanted to try out old Nemesor down here. And also I really like their relic. Their relic is on my middle Skorpekh Lord here. It's the Vanquisher's mask. It gives everybody who's within 3 inches fight last, but I'm fighting against Tau unfortunately, so it probably won't come into effect. But anyway, back to the list. So I have Nemesor as my HQ. He has a once per game Vect ability. He can just shut down somebody's stratagem, so I wanted to try him out and see how that goes. I have 2 Skorpekh Lords. The one on the right has the Veil of Darkness. This one took the extra Warlord trait to give him the regenerated command point on a 5 pluck from the Sautekh Dynasty special one. Behind them is 10 Gauss Immortals. Here we have a Doomsday Ark. We have 5 of the new Skorpekh Destroyers. I took 5 because I didn't want the unit coherency thing for the 6-man squad. Also, it negates some blast weapons that way. Then I have a Night Scythe. There is 20 warriors down there. Sorry, my army's kind of spread out everywhere, so we're going a little bit random here. Here in the front, we have 3 heavy destroyers. They're expensive, but those guns are big and do a lot of damage, so we'll see if they are worth their price. I have a unit of 3 Scarabs, a unit of 5 Scarabs, and another unit of 5 Scarabs. I kind of wanted 3 5-mans, but I ran out of points. And then finally, another unit of 20 warriors. These ones have the new Gauss Reapers. So that's my whole army. It's kind of small, but has the 2 big warrior squads. I'm not sure how Sautekh will do because the rapid fire only really affects 3 units of my army, but I really wanted to try out the Nemesor and that relic. So that's what we're doing with my army, and we're going down here to Tau. 1 second. Woo. Other end of the table. So the Tau, we have a Riptide. We have a Breacher squad. There's a Fire Warrior squad right next to him. And the same thing there, Breachers, Fire Warriors, and Breachers, Fire Warriors. The reason they're all clumped up like that is because they're all in Devilfish. So each Devilfish has 1 Breacher squad inside and 1 Fire Warrior squad inside. And then back here we have a Cold Star Commander. We have a Fireblade, Broadside with Missiles, Broadside with Missiles, and a Broadside with Missiles. To round out the list is 3 Crisis Suits. They're all missiles too as well. Yep, all missiles. So it's a huge missile list, lots of drones of course, and it'll be pretty gnarly taking that much missile firepower. Luckily my warriors are only 1 wound, so they kind of ignore the damage 2 on those missiles. Or damage D3 rather on the missiles, correct? D3 damage. And those are the armies. We are playing sweep and clear mission, so it's like a table quarters with 5 objectives. I took domination because one of the objectives is right in the middle, and I'm hoping to be able to hold that one, my own, and one of the corner ones. And I also have direct assault, which is the mission specific one, to hold the center objective, and then also I get extra points if I hold my opponent's deployment zone objective. And then finally I took grind them down, because all these drones are just little units of 2. So hopefully I can kill a drone unit a turn, and some other stuff, and get more kills per turn. And then finally the Tau took engage on all fronts, raised the banners, and While We Stand. So While We Stand is the Riptide, the Cold Star, and he's nominated that Broadside. So each one of those live at the end of the game was with 5 points to him. We'll be back after deployment. The Tau got to choose their deployment zone and deploy the first model, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we're back after deployment. The Tau won to choose their table quarters. They chose over here because this building is solid in the middle, so they can move inside without being shot through it. And they are all deployed around. We got Devilfish, we got Broadsides everywhere. The suits over there with the Cold Star, Fireblade in the woods, and then of course all the Fire Warriors are in the Devilfish. And then to counter that, I have my Gauss Reaper Warriors are in the Night Scythe, so they're just kind of set up there. Then I have Immortals, some Scarabs, big old unit of Warriors, all my HQs in the middle, the Skorpekhs up front, 2 more units of Scarabs, one there and one there, the Destroyers, and the Barge. And that is it, or the Ark rather, not the Barge. And so that's it. Tau will be going first, so we'll be back with Tau turn 1. Alright, the end of Tau 1, and as to Tau do, it was an absolutely devastating shooting phase. So they moved up with everything. This thing has the relic cannon from the Greater Good book, and so it fired over and of course one-shot my flyer, because it kills whatever it shoots at, because it's points efficient. Other than that, the suits back there with the missiles fired in and rolled just crazy hot. They get 12 missile shots, they hit like 10 of them, and then wounded 9, even on 4s against my barge. I even tried to use a reroll on one of my saving throws, used quantum shielding, everything. Doesn't matter. That many shots doing D3 damage each, it exploded, and did some scattered wounds to these guys. Killed 1 warrior there, killed 2 warriors there. Luckily though, none of my warriors here died from the explosion, oddly enough. 20 dice didn't roll a single one, so that was my one good roll of the turn. Other than that, he killed these 3 Scarabs that are up front, but I lost both my Flyer and my Doomsday Ark, so that's going to be hard to come back from. But we still have a whole bunch of warriors on the board, so we're going to push up and take the midfield and see what happens. So we're back with Necron, turn 1. Alright, so we're back at the end of Necron turn 1. It was the quickest turn ever, because absolutely nothing happened. These destroyers here, 3 heavy destroyers with the not heart over hatred. Anyway, their stratagem that lets them reroll the wound, fired into this, and didn't kill it. I hit every single time, only wounded once with rerolls to wound, rolled again, and still only wounded once. But I did cause 9 damage with the single shot they hit. But just the fact that it's there is just painful, because those are my only anti-tank left after my Doomsday Ark died. Other than that, I ran up. Skorpekhs are in the building. One Skorpekh got brave enough to stick his head through the building to get within 3 inches of that objective, because I needed it for 3 points for a secondary. And then some Immortals fired in and killed 2 drones and put a wound on a broadside. And that's it. That's my whole turn. Just moved up to the middle and trying to pressure the center objective for my secondary points. So we're back with Tau turn 2. Alright, so the end of Tau turn 2, and they're moving up the board, trying to take all the board control. They have an objective here, they put a banner on. First turn they put a banner on that objective. They moved up and pretty much everything shot into the Skorpekh Destroyers. They were in the building there. They're gone now. They did, I used a stratagem to -1 to wound them, so they did take a lot of firepower, so soaked up most of the army for me. But he does control the center objective, and he controls that objective. Shot my Scarabs off, and his objective secured. 1 Scarab did survive. The one stroke of luck I had, though, was way over here. These guys, I lost one, and then actually rolled 4 5s, and he came back to life. So he just came back behind the wall, so nothing else could see him. So that was crazy good, but everything else is kind of downhill. We have to take that center objective back, because I have the secondary for this mission that requires you to hold the middle objective. And I also got to get him off this one, so he doesn't get 15 points on his turn. So we'll be back with Necron turn 2. Alright, so back with the Necron turn number 2. And as far as points goes, it was a really good turn for us. But haven't done a lot of damage to actual Tau units that destroy me. So the return fire is still going to be brutal, because they still have all their broadsides, their Riptide, and their suit units over there. But I was able to clear out both Devilfish in the middle. All the Fire Warriors and Breacher teams in the middle, they're all dead. I also Veil of Darkness over into the back. You can see him over there. I got my Immortals and 1 Lord. Clear off his home objective. So currently he's only holding this objective, so he's gonna be down to 5 points on the primary for this turn. But I did put a bunch of my stuff out there that's probably just gonna die. But I needed it all for secondaries. I got 9 points in total on secondaries this turn, so that's a big score for me, but it's gonna be bad in the return fire. So we'll see how much Tau can punch back on their turn 3. Alright, so back at Tau turn 3, and for the first time the Necrons caught a break. So a broadside and the Cold Star Commander fired in and wiped out the Destroyer Lord and Immortals in the backfield, reclaiming his objective. Well, the drones there reclaiming the objective. And then everything else fired at this Destroyer Lord. And through some great dice rolls and some stratagems, and I used the Nemesor Xandric's ability to deny one of his stratagems. He tried to put a marker light on me with stratagems, and I stopped it. And so he wasn't rerolling to hit me, and then I made a bunch of invulnerable saves, and he lived with 4 wounds left. So I'm currently holding 3 objectives. It'll be a 15-point turn for me, so I can catch back up in the primary. So we're back with Necron turn number 3, and I didn't mention last time, but these guys are not actually on top of this building. They're actually on the first floor, just for ease of move. They're standing up there. So we're back with Necron turn 3. Alright, so we're back with Necron turn 3. I didn't do a lot, but I got a bunch of points, so that was good. The Destroyer Lord, he had a fire blade just behind this wall, so I assaulted it, got within an inch without going through the wall, and murdered him in combat. And the reason I did that is because I have the grind them down, so I have to kill more every turn. So I needed to kill 3 units. I wanted him to go in over here, but likelihood I kill a squad is very slim because he passed off to drones. So I had to guarantee the kill, so I went there. In shooting, these warriors shot into these guys here. I only had about 13 in range. I only did 1 wound to a single guy, and then killed a drone. He passed a bunch of his feel no pains on his drones, because they're all shield drones, of course. And then this unit advanced 6, so they moved way up. We were able to rapid fire a breacher squad to death, but now they're probably going to die because they're staring down a whole bunch of broadsides and Riptide. But they're just doing their thing there. And then finally the heavies moved up into the building, shot in, and he failed to pass off one of his wounds. So I did nuke one of his suits there. And then these brave Scarabs assaulted in and killed 1 shield drone there. So that was it. I killed 3 units to get my grind them down points. I got 3 points for holding the center, and another 3 points for holding 3 objectives. So I got 9 points on my secondaries again this turn. But if he's able to take that squad out of the middle, I'll be greatly reduced in my bodies on the board. So we're back with Tau, turn 4. Alright, so we're back at the end of Tau, turn number 4. And it was a decent turn for survivability of the Necrons, but we did take a huge hit. That relic gun on that stinking Riptide is brutal. It just one-shot all these guys. It does have a minimum of 4 damage because it's 3 plus D3. So 4 wound destroyers just get picked up when they get shot. So they're all dead. But I had a bit of luck and 2 warriors survived. I did have to spend the 2 CP to auto-pass morale, but I'm still holding the center objective. So that's going to be an extra 5 points for me in the primary. And that's it. That's all I got shot. He blew up these with Riptide, and the rest of the army shot into there. And that reanimation on single wound units is actually really good. They take it to the chin pretty well. There is only 2 left, but they're getting me 5 points, so yay. He did move over here, so he has engaged on all fronts. He has every table quarter, because that one drone, that red drone right there, is a unit of its own, and it is just across the 30-inch line, so he's holding this table quarter as well. So that's it. We'll be back with Necron, turn number 4. I only have like 4 units left on the board, but we are currently doing well on points, so let's see if I can hold off. Alright, so Necron, turn 4, and we really didn't kill anything. We kind of just took some position. So these warriors moved back over here, because I was going to lose this objective if that tank was able to make it there, because it's not objective secured on the Nemesor. I shot into it with everything. I did knock it down to 3 wounds left, so that's a bonus. I have a Scarab and 2 warriors holding the center objective, so they won't be there long, but they are there. And finally, my last Lord came in over here. First, he shot in and killed a drone unit that was over here, and then assaulted into this drone unit. And between a little bit of bad rolling on my parts and some good rolling on his parts, I only killed 1. I really need to kill the last one. It would have got me some extra points there. But it wasn't a bad turn as far as points go anyway. I got 6 on the secondary, and got him down to 5 on his primary, if I could talk there. So it was a decent round for points. I just didn't actually kill anything. So we're back with Tau, turn number 5. Alright, so the end of Tau, turn 5, their last turn of the game, and they did a pretty good job of blowing me off objectives. So they got me off of the center, they killed the warriors and that 1 Scarab that was there, and the rest of their army shot in, and it took about all of it to kill the Destroyer Lord there. That -1 to wound stratagem on a Skorpekh model is fantastic. And then I did try to use the reanimation protocol on him, the CP, to stand him back up at the end of the phase, but unfortunately he rolled a 2, so he is dead. And that is it. Other than that, this guy with like 3 wounds left was able to put 2 wounds on my Nemesor back here, which is kind of funny. Didn't really do anything, but it's just kind of funny that it happened. So we're back with Necron, turn number 5. I only have 3 units left. These 2 and some Scarabs in that building, but we'll see what I can do on my turn 5. Alright, so we went ahead and skipped Necron turn 5 pretty much. So I'm holding that objective. These warriors just ran to that objective, and that was my whole turn. There's Scarabs over there in that objective. I could have assaulted the drones, but it was meaningless. So at the end of the turn, I hold 3 objectives for 3 points for domination. I hold the center for 3 points for direct assault. My other one is grind them down. I have to kill 3 units this turn, which I just don't have models on the board to do. So that didn't matter, and it doesn't matter if I kill any of his units. So I moved on to my objectives, I scored my points, and that's the end of the game. I only have like 400 points left on the board, but I was able to pull off 84 points this mission. I do have some unpainted models, so if you're going by tournament rules, I don't get the extra 10 points for that. And his army is fully painted. So if you add in the paint total, it is 74 for the Tau to 84 for the Necrons. I got blown off the table, but I was able to hold enough objectives and score enough secondaries to drag it out in the end. Because I think I only killed like, what, 500 points of your army?
1, 2...
I killed some Fire Warriors, some Devilfish, and a single Crisis Suit. Yeah, that's all I killed.
Maybe 500.
So you still got about 1,500 points left of Tau left on the board, but they are all the big guns that sit in the back. So I was able to hold the center for long enough. So that's it. At the end, I really love the Destroyer Lord. He kind of reminds me of the old school Demon Prince from back in 5th edition. Just runs up and punches things in the face. The Night Scythe, on the other hand, that I took that died turn 1, they're probably not good to take in singles. You'd probably want at least a couple if you're taking them. As my list was, I probably would have been better off just spending a CP and putting the short-range warriors in strategic reserve. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.